Good day, everyone. Our topic is Neuroscience, the creative artistic brain. In this topic, we are going to discuss what kind of ICT advance and tests are used and its relation to education. So buckle up as we proceed to the lesson proper together with my co-reporters, Miss Geraldine Cabida, Winnie Rose Valdez, Monica Yaris, and yours truly.
So before we go on to our main topic, let's define this term that we will encounter as we go on to our discussion. First is neuroscience. Neuroscience is the study which deals with the function or structure of the nervous system and brain. Second is electroencephalogram or EEG. It is a test that detects abnormalities in your brainwave or in the electrical activity of your brain. Third is Torrance test of creative thinking. It is designed to identify and evaluate creative potential using verbal tests and figural tests.
Neurologist Kenneth Hillman and his colleagues in 2003 agreed that creativity includes the demonstration of divergent thinking, which involves coactivation and communication among brain regions that are not ordinarily strongly connected during non-creative activities. Creativity requires abilities that are associated with frontal lobe processing such as working memory and sustained attention. So yun naman ay according kay Fink, Benedict, Grabner, Stott, and Newhor in 2007. But as Paul Howard Jones in 2008 notes that there is no single part of our brain responsible for our creativity. So sabi naman ni Andreas Fink and his colleagues found that during tasks regarded as highly creative, more areas of the brain are active than during tasks that inquire conventional or customary thinking. Sabi naman ni Rosa Aurora Chavez Eagle and her colleagues also found differentiation in brain activity for individuals who demonstrate high degrees of creativity. So, bakit ko binanggit yung mga neurologist na ito? They conduct researches na kung saan nakita nila that not all the time gumagana yung creative thinking skills ng isang individual. That's why we come up sa report na to para mas makita natin na ang neuroscience, they are the one responsible and gumagawa ng mga research na kung saan mas makikita natin na kung ano yung kailangan ng brain natin para mag-work siya ng mas maayos. Like what I have said, nakita ng some neurologist na hindi palagi na gumagana yung isang brain creative thinking skills ng isang tao at para mangyari na gumana yon, nagkakaroon ng mga research para nang sa ganon mas matulungan ng isang individual na mas malaman kung ano yung mga bagay na dapat niyang gawin para gumana din yung creative thinking skills niya.
EEG or electroencephalogram. Hans Berger is a German psychiatrist who recorded the first human in EEGs in 1924. So, EEG is a record of electrical activity of the brain by the use of a small sensor, or they called it electrodes that attach to the scalp. The signal can be recorded by the machine, and the doctor will interpret what does the signal means. The main purpose of this EEG is to those people who have diagnosing brain conditions, especially to those people who have epilepsy and seizure disorders. But the case of Andreas Fink and his colleague, they use this EEG to measure brain activity and its creativity.
Torrance Test of Creativity Thinking or TTCT. It was named after Elise Paul Torrance, an American psychologist. He used it to measure a person's creativity. There is two types of the exam, the verbal test and figure test. In the verbal test, they are going to write consequences, questions, and reasons in the given subject. In the figure test, they are going to draw or create another figure from the given shapes. As you can see in the example, the given shape is circle. Then the student or a person draws it's either a sun, a moon, a clock, or a man's face. So the researchers use it to assess the flexibility, creativity, and originality of the ideas. And they concluded that the person who got the high score in the TTCT has a greater activity in their brain, which involved in the cognitive, emotional, and creativity of the brain.
The brain-targeted teaching model. This model is designed to guide teachers or educators to implement an effective teaching strategies. The brain-targeted teaching model presents 6 stages or brain target. Brain target 1 is the emotional climate for learning. Dito is mag-create yung teacher ng activities that connects student emotionally to the content or parang sa lesson nila. Brain target 2, physical learning environment. So sabi ng mga researchers, mas nakaka-relax or nagiging comfortable ang isang estudyante kapag maganda yung environment niya. So, dito sa Brain Target 2, ini-encourage yung teacher na ayusin or mas pagandahin pa yung environment ng mga bata para makapag relax or maging comfortable sila sa kanilang paligid. Brain Target 3, designing the learning experience. So, sinasabi dito na dapat ipakita muna ng teacher sa mga estudyante yung big picture ng topic nila or lesson nila para makabuo sila ng concept sa isip nila kung ano nga ba yung pinag-aaralan nila. So, example is parang sa jigsaw puzzle. Hindi mo to mabubuo kung hindi mo nakikita yung big picture niya. So, lack of conceptual understanding result in loss of retention. Brain Target 4, mastery of skills, content, and concept. So, dito, ini-encourage yung mga teacher na gumawa ng activities, multiple activities that demonstrate the mastery of skills, content, and concept of a student para ma-retain yung information at maging part ng long-term memory ng isang estudyante. Brain Target 5, extending and applying knowledge. Promotes the use of performance-based instructional activities in learning unit. So, dito is parang magbibigay. Kunwari sa math, magbibigay yung teacher ng real-life problem. Tapos, isosolve ng mga estudyante. Last is the Brain Target 6, evaluating learning. So, dito, ini-encourage yung teacher na i-connect yung learning objective, instructional activities, evaluation methods dun sa mga brain targets na nabanggit ko kanina.
Okay, so let's now go to neuroscience, creativity in relation to education. So a while ago, one of our member defined terms before we start explaining this report. So yung una niyang dinefine is neuroscience. Neuroscience is the study which deal with the function or structure of the nervous system and the brain. And for neuroscientists to do that, there is so-called electroencephalogram or so-called EEG. It is a test that detects abnormalities in your brain waves or in the electrical activity of your brain. At para mas lumago ng kaalaman nila kung paano nagwo-work yung brain, nagkaroon sila ng mga researches at isa dito yung tinatawag na Torrance test of creative thinking. And nag-come up din sila sa model na tinatawag the brain targeted teaching model. So let's relate it in education. So this seeks to translate research findings on neural mechanisms of learning to educational practice and policy and to understand the effects of education on the brain. So one of the fundamental pillars supporting the link between education and neuroscience is the ability of the brain to learn. Neuroscience is developing and increasing our understanding of early brain development and how these brain changes might relate to learning processes. Neuroscience can help teachers understand how the brain learns new information. Even having a basic knowledge of neuroscience can inform the way teachers teach. For example, neuroscience tells us that when children learn new info, that info goes through pathways in the brain. So, through neuroscience, tinutulungan niya yung mga teacher na makita kung ano yung mga kailangan na approach sa pagtuturo sa mga estudyante nila. Siyempre, kasama doon na makahalata or makikita, ma-observe ng isang teacher is kung paano nagbe-behave yung brain ng isang bata. Diba? Nadidetermine nila kung yung bata ay mataas ang IQ, mababa yung IQ. So even though we are not a neuroscientist or we don't study neuroscience, there are books and researches that we can read to inform us or share us about how our brain behaves. So that's all.
Remember that we should always exercise our mind because it can improve about everything in our life. Cause let's think about it na our brain is the core of everything we do. Thank you for watching.